What is good, everybody? This is my top 10 favorite athletes in all of sports. What I did in this one was I did a hint of nostalgia. I took everything into account, if I'm being honest with you, man. I took personal reasons, obviously my list in terms of just who I enjoy watching and everything that would maybe be different. You guys know this, and they'll be on this list eventually. They just need to do a little bit more time and everything. But I love guys like obviously T. Higgins. I love guys like Donovan Mitchell. They're going to be on this list, no doubt, and very high, I might add. I'm just going to take you down the list from 10 to 1, and I will tell you the reasons why. So starting at number 10, we got Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback to ever touch a football. This is a personal reason, and just like in general, I loved watching him on the Patriots and obviously the Bucks when he won his 7th. But on the Patriots, I mean, I loved watching his 3 Super Bowl runs. You know, obviously I was cheering for him in all 3 of those. In 2014 when they played Seattle, I was rooting for him big time. And even winning a 7th in Tampa, I mean, I was cheering for Kansas City, I won't lie to you, but you know, I still I loved watching Brady play. He was just a great quarterback, and he led pretty much all quarterbacks in every statistical category. And personal reason here, he was one of the reasons I started throwing a football, because when I used to watch him, and especially against the Bengals in one game, which really hurt to see because obviously I am a huge Bengals fan, he would just sling the ball, dart it down the field, and that's just how I approach even touching a football. When I'm throwing around my friends, I dart a football because of this dude. So, personal reason, he is number 10 on my list. But he is just an amazing quarterback, and, you know, I loved watching him win all those Super Bowls that I got to see. I saw him win 4 since I started watching. Number 9, I got Steph Curry in the 9th slot. I know it's gonna sound weird. I mean, yeah, Cleveland Cavs fan, you know, putting Steph Curry on his top 10. But back then, obviously, I did not like this guy at all. I wanted to beat him every single time we played him. But, man, it's weird. I mean, with all the duels that we've had against him in the finals, you'd expect he'd be on my bottom 10 favorite. But that's actually not true. I mean, I honestly respect the hell out of him, and I really hated the Warriors back then for about 3 or 4 years, but I couldn't deny this dude was the greatest shooter I ever saw, and he was the reason that I even started like shooting all those threes. I mean, when I'm playing basketball, I'm shooting from 3. I mean, that's just a testament to how great Steph Curry is. So all the respect in the world to this guy right here. I love Steph now. I did not like them obviously back then with all those finals duels, but I can't deny to you, whenever I shoot threes, and large part of course is because of this guy, because he changed the game. Number 8, we got Cardale Jones. When I started watching college football, it was obviously about Braxton Miller, who unfortunately got hurt at the beginning of that season. That way we made a run to win the national championship. And of course, JT Barrett got hurt against Michigan. But Cardale Jones to come in there and take the team to the national title and win it. And yeah, I love guys like Zeke. I love so many other guys on that team that were just amazing and very crucial for us to win that year. But man, Cardale Jones, I mean, he was an underdog story to begin with, and for him to just come in and bring the 8th national title, and obviously we won afterwards, which I will get into that later on, but he was always my favorite Buckeye just because of the underdog story that year that he came into, the situation he came into, and he won us the Bama game, obviously, and then he put on a show against Oregon as well, so as long with Zeke and many others. So I'm going to say Cardale Jones take the top spot because obviously I'm a quarterback guy and he was the quarterback of that team. Number 7, we got Brandon Phillips. I used to play baseball all the time when I was a kid, and his batting stance was one of the most unique positions, and obviously being a Cincinnati Red, did so much for the franchise as well. I mean, he was in those great years that we had back in 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. In our playoff years, I mean, he was a crucial part of that, and even in the lean years. He was an amazing talent, but he was also just a great, fun guy, a Gold Glove winner. He was an amazing defensive player, just a fun player to watch. He was one of my favorite Reds. He'll always be one of my favorite Reds. He stuck up for the Reds all the time, especially against those mean dirty birds down in St. Louis. I mean, he would always fight for the team, and he was just a great compliment to the entire team, and he was the heart and soul of the team, and he knew that too, and that was the best part. Number 6, we got A.J. Green of the Cincinnati Bengals wide receivers. This dude ranks in the top, I would say 3 or 4 now. He was a monstrous talent, man. He was just a fun player to watch. I mean, back in the playoff runs, although we didn't win a playoff game with him, and he unfortunately got hurt in 2014 against the Colts, but he was just an amazing player to watch. All those Hail Marys he caught, he has some of the best hands that I've ever seen. And even with Andy Dalton, not saying Dalton was a bad quarterback, but AJ Green bailed him out plenty of times, and He was many reasons why the Bengals were relevant even in their mediocre seasons. When healthy, this dude was a top 5 receiver in the league. He was up there with Antonio Brown, Odell, Des Bryant, Julio Jones, all of them. He was right up there with them. The fact that he signed a one-day contract even, close out his NFL career with the Bengals, that speaks volumes to who he is as a citizen and a person as well. So much love to AJ Green, man, always. Number 5, Todd Frazier. You might be surprised that he's ranked this high, but I was actually at the home run derby when he won it in front of the Cincinnati crowd. A moment that I'll never forget. No matter how old I get, I'll always remember being at that game. To win it in Cincinnati, incredible. Him and Jock Peterson put on an absolute show, but he came out on top, thankfully, in front of his home crowd. It was just an amazing sight to see. And obviously in 2015, he was an all-star as well. He had an amazing first half of the season. Second half was a little bumpy, but some of his power, the pop he had in his bat, man, was just an amazing thing. And he's obviously a big supporter of the Reds now. I mean, you see him all the time. He's talking about the Reds, and he just seems that he really roots for him. Number 4, we got Ja'Marr Chase. I would say he is the greatest talent at the Bengals receiver position, but he'll definitely be up there in terms of just like all-time rankings when it's all said and done. I mean, he is a monstrous talent, won the Triple Crown, just a mega superstar in this league. To first of all, like, come to the Bengals in his first year and help us get to the Super Bowl, I mean, that just speaks volumes to how good he was. And yes, he's got Joe Burrow, who I absolutely adore as well, but this dude is a big part of our success the last 3-4 years. And honestly, I can't believe that he hasn't got paid yet, but he will. And I guarantee you that it's going to be an absolute show with him and Joe Burrow to watch. And along with T. Higgins, of course, we can hope to get both of these guys re-signed and paired with Joe Burrow. But Ja'Marr Chase particularly, man, he's going to be so fun to watch, and I cannot wait to see him get his money, and he's going to continue to lead the Bengals to hopefully more playoff success. And he'll always be up here just because of the height of success came with him being a huge part of the team. And even in Burrow's injury year, I mean, he made them respectable because he helped Jake Browning as well. He's always going to be up here. And we did get to a Super Bowl with him, of course. We came up short, but look at this catch. I mean, again, that speaks to who he is as a player. And obviously, he's a great person as well. I mean, yeah, you can talk about his off-field issues. You can talk about how you feel like he's a diva, even though I don't agree in the slightest. He's always been a great teammate, a great guy. I mean, you look at him compared to players like, I don't know, George Pickens. You can't compare the two. I mean, he is not a diva at all. I don't find him a diva at all. He's, in my opinion, a great teammate, as I said. Number 3, we got Joey Votto. No diss to Carson Palmer. I'm one of the few Bengals fans that actually just don't have a problem with him, but him and Joey Votto were kind of in the same boat, in my opinion. I mean, they were kind of not being utilized properly. I mean, you could say that the team just didn't put a good team around him, but Joey Votto, the difference was he stuck with us, man. He was the only thing that was keeping the Reds relevant all those years, Joey Votto. And the fact that he didn't even play for another team. I mean, yeah, he signed with the Blue Jays and everything, but he didn't play, and he retired, and he even said, Cincinnati, I've only played for you. Loved watching Joseph Daniel Votto play. You guys know that. He was my favorite Red, of course, because why wouldn't he be? I mean, he stuck with us the whole time. He put on an absolute show, whether that be at first base or at the plate. And he was one of the best personalities as well. I mean, yeah, he would have a hot head, and those would sometimes be entertaining to watch. But in terms of just personality, he was a great teammate, a great citizen, great member of the organization, and all the respect and love to this dude. And remember, even in retirement, Joey Votto still bangs. Number 2, Joe Burrow. So this dude, Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow, whatever you want to call him, he brought us the AFC crown in 2021, but speaks to him as a player. But of course, as a person, he is one of the best people and best quarterbacks in the NFL. Even in this dreadful 9-8 season where we missed the playoffs, he put on an absolute show. He's a top 2 quarterback, in my opinion, when he's healthy. And I don't even think it's really a debate, no question. But he really changed the way we think of the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, when you think of the Bengals back then, you think about, like they're just a notorious organization. Now, a lot of people want to watch the Bengals because of this dude. And a lot of people want to come to Cincinnati. He's really changed the revolution of the Bengals organization. And we will always love him. He's already, in my opinion, I mean, when it's all said and done, I think he has potential to be the greatest Cincinnati sports figure ever. Right now, I think he's top 5 in my book. I think he could be up there with some of the greatest and probably the greatest Cincinnati sports athletes. So Burrow, no doubt, is number 2. He's done enough to already make this high of a spot. And number 1, we got LeBron James. No question he's number 1 right now, guys. I mean, to bring the city of Cleveland their first title in 52 years, and just to bring the Cleveland Cavaliers their first NBA championship, just put on an absolute show in those finals. I mean, to be down 3-1 against a 73-9 Golden State Warriors team with Steph, Clay, Draymond, Iguodala, and all of them, he really took over those last 3 games, man. I mean, yeah, Kyrie did his part. Everybody did their role. In the end, this dude won the Finals MVP for a reason. He's just been the reason that the Cavaliers are even relevant, and this team is trying to, obviously add another banner in Cleveland, but you can't deny, I mean, this dude made play after play. Of course, the block on Iguodala and, many other more plays that he made. I mean, he led both teams in every statistical category against a 73-9 team. I mean, that's just silly. But no doubt, like I said, he is the top spot here because he made the Cavs relevant. He brought a championship to the city of Cleveland, to Northeast Ohio, to all of Ohio. Can't thank him enough for that as a Cavs fan, and we'll always forever love him. He's an icon. To grow up in Ohio, be drafted by the team in Ohio, and to leave Ohio, to come back 4 years later, and then bring a championship. I mean, it's just a story like none other. He's definitely worthy of being the number 1 athlete in Ohio, and obviously on my personal list. So LeBron James takes the top spot, no questions asked. And that's going to do it, guys. So obviously, I talked about many other, people on here. I mean, when we look back in hindsight, of course, some other guys are going to be on this list. I mean, I could put Will Howard there. I could put Jeremiah Smith up there. I want to just see their career play out. Obviously, Will Howard is, at the pro day now. But, Jeremiah Smith, I want to see how his career in Ohio State plays out, and they'll definitely take this list. I mean, it takes a little bit of time. You got to step back a little bit and think about it. And I also decided to add a little bit of a personal, feeling to it. Yeah, no regrets as far as the list is concerned. Spida is definitely going to be on here. T. Higgins, when it's all said and done, is going to be on here. But I had to narrow it down to these 10. That's how I would do it, and that's the order I would put it in. Thank you guys for watching this video. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Go Cavs, go Bengals, go Reds, and go Bucks. And I'll see you guys next time.